Hey everybody, how do you think your friendships are influencing you? I don't need to pick these topics, you guys give them to me. It's kind of like supply and demand. If I notice a running theme, that's what I talk about. And so I'm really hoping that this hits home for you, because what I've noticed in this last few years of massive collective consciousness awakening, and look at my face, it is healing. Just a little reminder that you're not the meat suit that you live in, you're the spirit within. And so think about that with your friendships. One of the biggest running themes that I'm noticing at the moment is people are feeling lonely, or they've lost a lot of friends in the recent awakening. That there's been this division happen. Maybe before then, we were going along through the motions and everything seemed to be like our friendships were tight, and there's not a single person that's coming to see me at the moment that's not saying this is so. That friendships are separating, relationships are separating, jobs are shifting, circumstances are changing, family units are even not in agreement. And yet before this awakening, or this recent awakening, because awakening happens in stages. Know this too, some people can be awakened and they go back to sleep because of ego state, or because of pride, or because of the shock of not wanting to admit that a lot of what we're taught isn't truth. And so there becomes this vibrational push apart, like atoms dividing, atoms splitting. And every single person in my small circle groups mentioning this at the moment, every client that I have sessions with, people that I'm meeting at events. Goodness me, I've got a huge event tomorrow and this is going to be my face because I can't put makeup on this, but watch this space because pain leads to purpose. Thank you for no judgment. And I've walked into good space today too, and nobody's gone, oh my God, what happened to your face? They've just all gone, how are you? I like your tribal tattoo. Pretty funny. Karmically, think about this. Birds eat ants, but when the bird dies, the ants eat the bird. There is a cycle to life. We make a matchstick out of a tree, and yet it only takes one match to burn the whole forest down. So I'm asking you today to not overlook the small person, not overlook the person in the peripheral. Do not underestimate the quiet person. Do not underestimate the friends that are sitting on the sidelines just waiting for your attention. They could be your people and you've overlooked them because you were looking for people that are too much like you. And yet you're shifting and changing, and the elevation and the evolution of your soul as you in this awakening. You're not the same person, right? You were blinded, you were deceived, you were matching energies for energies. You may have been in a cycle of toxic relationships. You may have been in a cycle of thinking that you fit in with the cool group, and the cool group have now turned on you because of your new belief systems. But energy matches energy. The circumstances that change in a blink of an eye can mean that you sometimes may need to sit at home and understand, whose energies are these? Are we influenced by the friendships around us? 1000% we are. Think of yourself as a child. How did you operate at school to get into the cool gang? Or maybe you were ostracized always. Maybe you were bullied. Maybe you were picked upon. Maybe you would do anything to be part of the cool group. And yet it's often the cool group that leads you astray, right? Kids start smoking at really early ages. They start drinking at really early ages because of this peer pressure. Don't think that you've let that go in your adult state, because the friends that you hang around is who you become. And so I'd like you to think about today consciously unlearning what has attracted you to certain friendships that were toxic. What has attracted you to overgiving in friendships? What in you isn't allowing reciprocation? What in you is allowing okay friendships, but there's There's not a soul connection. Is there an internal war that attracted you to certain types of people? And has that war been there since you were young? I know it has for me. It's been a very painful journey to see in the evolution of my soul and my self-loving boundaries, friendships come and go. Tears flow. Tears cleanse us, right? Salty water cleanses us. Salt is crystalline. So 99% of your eyelids are water. And water holds memory. Give yourself permission to release the internal war and the learnt behavior that allowed you to settle in friendships that weren't feeding your soul, that didn't put you first, that weren't equal. Now, when we're kids, we look for friendships that make us feel accepted, right? And I think it's because we see adults as the domineering ones or the ones that are in control. And so, you know, as a parent, right, there's a certain age that you feel like you lose control of influence over your child, and they're drawing influence from their peer group. Why is that? It's because it's an equal playing field. And yet as adults, we sit here and a lot of us are tolerating friendships that aren't equal, friendships that don't think about you, friendships that dump on you and take from you, or you overgive. But we haven't processed why that's so. Because it's subconscious programming from when we were young, when we were trying to feel accepted into our peer groups. If you come from a messy background, it gets really complicated and very difficult to unlearn. There can be secret animosity within friendships, particularly in women's groups. Some people can be so sickly sweet to you that if you're not in tune with feeling energies, you'll be sucked into that. You'll be thinking, oh my gosh, these women really love me. But a lot of people are friends with us, if we're honest, because they want something that we have, be it our energy, be it our positions of influence, be it something that we give them without asking for anything back. And so I ask you, is that really friendship then? And yet we spend hours as women crying in the room when friendships leave us. And men, I encourage you to cry too, because our culture has said that men don't cry, but they really should. Because when I coach men from broken relationships, men take a lot longer to heal the wound of the broken heart than women actually do, because women are better at expressing it and letting it out. Energy has to move, right? Energy is emotion. Emotion has to be in motion in order to heal. There are deadly emotions that are trapped within us because of toxic friendships. We didn't even realize we're toxic. And so this season of awakening is a gift on a golden platter. Jealousy is being revealed. Jealousy runs with every wicked spirit. That's every dense energy, every lower based emotion. There's always a gatekeeper. It's whatever got into that person when they were traumatized. And so maybe the gatekeeper for that person is death, and it's toxic. There is a spirit of death. And that vampirish energy might want to latch onto anyone that feels like life. And they're not there with good intentions, albeit unconscious. And so I'd like you to learn how to feel energies. And if you're interested in learning more about that, my 9 weeks course has a whole week on that, where I talk into how you learn to not only feel into energies, but learn to manipulate energies, because energies are your sacred gift. But you won't be able to tap into that unless you have learned to feel. You've got to learn to feel energy, and that's learning to feel emotions, so that you can understand the difference between genuine connection and inauthentic energy. I can smell it a mile off now. Everybody loves to be your best friend when you are in a position of making them feel good or being able to clear their anxiety or depression. when you have a little more fun, be careful to guard your heart in that funness, because not because we don't want to love everyone equally, but you've got to be careful who you let in the house, who you let in your inner circle, because those people's energies affect you. And so it's okay to love people at a distance. You cannot step into your position of greatness if you settle and allow yourself to win the popularity contest, because you'll have people in your field that are affecting you. Now, it's really easy to get envious or jealous of somebody that's successful, that wants everybody else, or everybody's so compelled to their magnetism that they want to be their best friend, right? We see this at events, like everybody runs to the certain person in the room to get a photo with them. But inauthentic connection actually becomes a little bit cultish by those that don't know who they are energetically. They need it from another. And we attract what we are holding. So don't forget my analogy about the bird and the ant. The ant is the one that works cleverly. They work collectively. They work together. They store up for when the season's required. They don't worry about when the rain's pouring down. They've got their food stored up. They're smart. They're wise. How do you think friends are influencing you, my friends? Think about it for a second. When is the last time that one of your peers influenced you about fashion, music, self-help, going out, activities, what you eat? Maybe this is happening even within your home. Do you have the ability and the strength of character to make your own decisions that are for your health and well-being, your mental health, your energy clearing, against the grain of the collective? Because that's what this season is dictating. Happen so that the separation happens, so that you step out and feel empowered. This is how we help ourselves. And so while we boo-hoo in our bedrooms that friends have left us in this season, can't you see that's the hand of the divine to keep your energy fields clearer, your sanity clearer, and give you space to plug in and give you space to process the shock of it all, knowing that everything's being upturned on its head. The old will not serve you in this new season. I have beautiful souls, even young guys, coming to me saying they can't go to the pub with their friends anymore because what they're talking about is shallow, it's old. And in the awakening of these gorgeous souls, they feel the vibrational difference. Isn't that awesome? Know that things like excessively drinking alcohol lowers your vibration. Know that eating junk food lowers your vibration. Know that everything that's popularly accepted in our society lowers your vibration by design. Watching endless hours of television, having the news on, all of these things influence us. And so in order to elevate your emotions and your energy fields, because your emotions are what allow your energy fields to lift, you have to step out of what's seemingly popular. And that feels weird. And that gets judged. I forgot to turn my phone off. I thought I had it on silent, but I didn't. Anyway, that's beautiful to hear from people. Part 2, I couldn't wrap that up. I wanted to post that up, and I'll just finish now with 4 rules of friendship that I would just suggest to you in the connection of new friendships, so that you can evolve and grow into who you really are, and that is gain equal benefits from a relationship. Stop putting yourself second best. Stop putting yourself on the shelf. Stop diving into relationships because you're lonely or because you feel desperate or you're overlooking things just to be included. Trust your intuition. feel into it. Take your time. Did you know that people can fake their characters for up to a year? Take your time in the connection and do it in doses where it feels manageable to you so that you can make an educated decision as to whether that's working well for you. Have the desire and notice from the other side of the fence, does that new friendship have the desire to spend time with you? If you're the one that's always chasing in the relationship, or you're the one that's always instigating or calling, know that it might be a little bit unequal and that you may need to assess the genuineness of that friendship so that you're not overgiving and you're not becoming resentful. When we operate in imbalanced friendships without conscious living or without conscious assessment of why we're attracting that, we often end up stale or bitter or angry. These repressed emotions, we're not even aware that we're holding those things. And so because we're holding that, we're attracting more friendships that also are showing us that we're holding that, and therefore it ends up toxic, right? So everybody that enters into your life is there to show you what you are holding. Have fun and express yourself, your true self, with your friendships. Get a little weird. Do you. Don't feel the need to filter or edit. It's the authenticity that I'm talking to you about this last week. Just do you. So, and you will notice that people that have excessive amounts of friends, they morph and shift into becoming a little bit shapeshifterish, actually. They become like the people that they're with at the time. And so I ask you, is that authenticity? Like, how can people be different according to who they're with in different pockets or groups of social groups? That just seems a little off to me. It seems like they're not really showing who they actually are. They're just picking up the collective energy. And there's a lot of those types about. So sometimes we have those popular people on a pedestal when in fact that person who's up on the pedestal that's living the life with countless amounts of friends, they don't really have an ID. They are morphing. And so it's not authentic, it's not real. And then point 4 that I'd like to point out is both friendships should cooperate so that they're satisfied with the resolution of conflict. A lot of us hold in what we'd like to say for fear of conflict, but expressing what you'd like to say doesn't need to be perceived as conflict, but it often is when you've grown up in conflict like I did. And so we repress what we would like to express for fear of being judged or for fear of a blow up. Now that's actually judgment. That's actually judgment from your part. And so if you're holding judgment, you'll attract judgment, and so the vicious cycle goes on. You cannot fix another, but what you can do is clear yourself and the energies that you're holding from your early childhood trauma, and be the influence on the circle yourself. You only need 2 or 3 close friends in order to express your true self, and everybody else that you engage with in life is a reflection of energies that you're holding. Be the influence. Be the one that holds the higher field, that holds the higher energy in the room. Walk into the room and shift the energy. Shift it. You do that by unconditional love. Now, when you get brave enough to hold so much unconditional love, know that that will trigger others. It will trigger others, because what light does is it reveals the darkness, and that's okay. For this season, many of you are being chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen to hold the light in order to be the trigger. Whatever you're called to do, do it well. And know this, that once you learn to accept yourself and love yourself, that being alone's okay too. Learn to love your own company, and when you get to that level, nothing can mess with you. Nothing can mess with you. Popularity is the wide gate. The narrow gate is a spiritual gate. The narrow gate is pressing through alone. So up your standards with friendships, as I posted this morning. just step into the heart space of courage to be uniquely you and stop feeling pressured to morph or think like another person in order to settle for whatever they're gifting you. Money, time, outings. Raise the standards. 'Tis the season. Thank you for joining in. I'm sorry that my live got cut off when I was in flow, but I really do think this is a very important message. I'd love to hear from you if you're struggling in this reason. Has this recent awakening shuffled up your friendships? And is hindsight showing you that some of them had to shake out? It's not personal, it's vibrational. Lots of love to you all. If any of you are interested or ready for a quantum leap, we have lots on offer. I have my 9 weeks course to help you become the best you, which is a very affordable way. Today, Friday, midnight, you have the opportunity to jump into Design Her Collective with 3 of us coaching you on how to be the best you for just $1,111, and you become part of the collective too. You've got 90 days to work on yourself with us. This is a bargain. Like, if any of you are feeling the need to jump into some self-improvement, I really highly recommend this. We are teaching you everything that's worked for us. We have paid for a lot of coaches and courses for ourselves, and we're packaging it up and giving it all to you for a very affordable price. Becoming part of the collective too, you get to get discounts for all of our events and feel supported with birthing your own holistic business or whatever you choose to do. We're there to support you. Design Her, and it feels so good. And we are meeting amazing people. Last Saturday, to have like-minded people in the room crying together and communicating efficiently, that we've all walked through this. We've all lost friendships in this recent awakening. We've all learned that change can feel painful, but hindsight is everything. When you look back, you're like, oh, I see why that's happened to me, because you're about to be elevated, activated, lifted up. You are an earth changer. You are a new earth builder. You are holding the high vibrational frequencies that will repel others once you step into your own self-authenticity and step into that love space, which must include loving yourself. The old you was attracting those friendships, so don't blame them either. They're simply a mirror to show you what you need to shift. And I'm so excited for you. If you're ready for some sound healing shift, you must book in for tomorrow, Saturday, in Warriewood. Kristen and I are hosting via the Healing Room at Spirit Flow Yoga. A bunch of very amazing sound healers coming in to help clear your auric field, help you shift any denser emotions or fears that you're holding. A lot of people are housebound at the moment. We've noticed that bookings aren't happening. They're happening very last minute because people are afraid to step into the collective energy. If you can clear all of that and stop picking up on the collective, put your little golden light bubble around you and be intentional and conscious. That's how we shift things. I work with purpose, walk with purpose, talk with purpose. Let your pain become your purpose, like my pain on my external here. This is, I had this done yesterday. One of my beautiful friends gifted this to me. And so, yeah, it is a little bit painful, but it's going to rejuvenate me. It's the same emotionally. Let your pain become your purpose. Let your pain show you where the weak points were for your healing and the trauma roots that need to be plucked up and grafted into the love tree, which is the tree of life, and you will attract amazing friendships. You only need a few of them, but you need to be authentic to attract those. All the best. God bless, and know that I love you. We have tickets available for tomorrow's sound healing. Please reach out if you'd like the ticket link. And that starts at 5:30 until 7:30. I'm so excited to host you. It's a really amazing season to start flying like the beautiful butterfly that you are. Love you. Bye.